government on education. And the Young Scientists model was developed in Ireland about 55 years ago by two volunteers in the private sector. It was the aviation company, the national airline at the time, Aer Lingus, and now it's BT, British Telecom, who sponsor the programme. And it is an enormous programme in Ireland, and great variety and great diversity. And many of the winners go on to do great things in private industry. But even if you don't win, many develop careers in science and engineering, very significant careers in research, and they add a lot to what we call the human capital of the country. And the story of modern Ireland is education. We were insular, isolated for the first 3 decades of independence, and it was only in the 1960s that we opened up, developed free trade, joined the European Union but above all invested in education. And the most important thing Ireland did from the 1960s onwards was to invest in education. And we continue to do that, and to invest in our teachers in particular, because the teachers are the linchpin of our education system, and that's the key to growth. We had a very young population in the 1980s, and we had a lot of unemployment. But eventually, if you educate your young, they will become the economic drivers of the future. And that's what transformed Ireland. Many companies came to Ireland. There was political stability, but they also came principally because there was a young, well-skilled workforce. And I think that's the key. We helped to fund the project in Kenya. I think we give a sizable financial allocation through the embassy, through our development corporation, and I think along with private sector sponsors, it creates the funding to enable participation by so many students. And we will look forward to continuing to work with YSK and to provide additional supports if required. And I believe, given what I've heard, we could do it. The project could do with more support. Not in Africa, but we do in Jordan. We've partnered with the Jordanian government, and I was in Jordan some months ago, and I had a similar event with Jordanian young scientists, and it was fantastic. I mean, the quality of the projects were very good. So this is something that Ireland's quite proud of, that developed in Ireland, but it's great to see it advancing so well in Kenya and in Jordan. And it's a model for the world, really, because it takes, and I didn't say it inside, it takes science out of school, it takes science outside the textbook. This is science by doing, by experimenting, by projects. It's real science, and the students are doing it, and that's the secret of the success of the competition. I think the costs are relatively, I mean, you need a strong private sector contribution and involvement, because the private sector is not just about money, it's about the energy of volunteers. So in Ireland, the BT volunteers, all of their workforce give up that week, and maybe more, and they come to the exhibition centre and they do everything to make it enjoyable for the young people and make it, they organise the logistics. A lot of work goes into it. So that sense of participation by wider society is very important to sustain it. Not just the teachers in the school and the professors. No, you do need academia as well to do the judging and all of that. But above all, I think you need that volunteerism to be a key part of it. That will sustain it in the end.